So it is feeding day here at Torpedoes and Tarantulas, and in this video I'm just going to focus on showing you my newest additions. I'm going to attempt to feed all of the additions that I've gotten in the last month or so, because I don't think I've fed any of them on camera yet, so that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to feed everyone else, but you've seen that collection, so I'm not going to do that video. This one's probably going to be long enough as it is. But here we go, guys. We're going to attempt to feed my newest addition. So grab a bag of popcorn, a cold beer, soda, a candy bar, whatever your pleasure may be. Kick back, relax, and let's hope we get some good feeding clips. So the first one I'm going to start with here is my Poecilotheria tigrinawesseli, or tigrinawesseli. That's a huge mouthful. You may not quite be able to make it out, but it is hunkered down right in this area here between the cork bark and the moss there. This one has been more of a terrestrial guy. It's got a bit of a burrow here that it hangs around in most of the time, but it's hanging around up there underneath that leaf behind the cork bark. I'm going to try to drop a very small roach right in that area and see what kind of reaction we get. Absolutely nothing, of course. That would be just about the way my video would start out. Between that moss and everything, I didn't even see where the roach went, so sorry I bored you with that one. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one I'm going to attempt to feed is my Avicularia variegata, which is hiding right behind that cork bark in that webbing right there. Can't wait to see if this guy will feed for us or not. It doesn't seem to be moving, although the roach is. So this may be another one that we don't get a good look at in this video. As I said, naturally that would happen in my videos. So I think I'll just leave the roach in there, and of course as soon as I turn the camera off it's going to eat for us. Let's move on to the next one. So this next one I'm not going to bother putting a roach in because there's actually a roach in here. I misted the enclosure earlier and it came out, so it's been hiding in the moss. We also will not see this tarantula. I just wanted to kind of do an update on it. This is my Orphanacus species blue penne, and you can see that it is burrowed underneath that cork bark, and it has two different hides, and I believe I detect a bit of tarantula in there, but I can't quite make it out. And then there's a tunnel over here as well. So that's how that one's doing. I have not seen it since I unboxed it, but I think we're looking at a little bit of a booty there, but I'm not sure. So let's move on to one that we can see. Alright, and so this is the last addition from the mystery box that I got from Palp Friction Tarantulas a couple of weeks ago. This is the Pamphibedius species Platyoma. Again, none of these have been fed on camera, although 2 days after I got them, I put a mealworm in with this guy, and it was instantly on it. So let's put a roach in and see what happens, because we don't have any mealworms right now. I'll explain that later. Naturally, the roach wants to go away from the tarantula's dwelling, and now it goes inside. Tarantula made a run for it, but the roach ran off. You can see the springtails running around in there. I try to keep all of my tarantulas enclosures pretty clean. I believe this guy is being bashful, maybe because of light. Oh, there it goes. Well, we didn't see much of that, did we? But there is the first one that actually fed on camera for us. That was kind of cool, I guess. I wish I could get a better angle down in its burrow to show it to you, but I cannot. And I don't want to move that cork bark to show it and stress it out, so we're just going to let it eat. So there's the first one fed. Let's go on to another one. So now we are on to the additions that I picked up at the show last weekend. And this is the first one of 4 that I picked up. This is my Poecilotheria rufilata. Can't get a very good look at it. I think it might be in a pre-mold. It's got kind of a shiny booty, but I've got a very small roach I'm going to put in there anyway and see what happens. Maybe it will eat, maybe it won't. And of course I missed the enclosure with the roach. Hold on. Okay, so let's try that again. No movement from the tarantula. This ought to be interesting. It's kind of starting to confirm my suspicions that this one may be in a pre-molt. If that's the case, I will be retrieving this roach in a few hours if it has not eaten it, just to be on the safe side. But you can see that there's no reaction out of my Poecilotheria rufilata, the red slate ornamental right now, so it may be in a pre-molt, or it may turn around and grab the damn roach after I stop the video. I mentioned that I don't have mealworms right now. I came home from the expo last week, was feeding last weekend or early last week, and was getting out mealworms for a lot of my smaller tarantulas and realized I didn't have many left. So I placed an order earlier this week. Been watching for the tracking all week long. It's a mixed count, 500 count of mixed. I'd never seen any other place that had mixed size mealworms from 1/4 inch to 1 inch, which is just perfect for the variety of sizes of tarantulas I have. So I noticed on the tracking this morning that it was on the truck and out for delivery today, and I thought, great, just in time, because this is feeding day, and I will have all these mealworms to feed my new tarantulas. And then I get an email about, missed. Well, it may not be in a pre-molt, or it just got aggravated enough it was trying to run it off. Anyhow, so I get an email about 4:30 saying that they were delivered. So I go outside. There's nothing in my mailbox. There's nothing on my porch. And I check their shipping tracking on their website, and it shows that it was delivered to a P.O. box, which I do not have. So I was quite confused about that. So I believe the U.S. Postal Service fucked that up. So I'm feeding roaches today to a lot of my tarantulas that I wanted to feed mealworms to. Sorry that I bored you with that story. I don't think we're going to get much more action out of this guy, although I do think it's going to eat. So let's move on to the next one. So this next one is one that I am super excited to now be the owner of, and surprisingly was the only one I saw at the show. I've been wanting one for a long time, not quite as big as I wanted, but they're still beautiful at this size. This is my Carabina Versicolor. Here we go. Nothing yet. Oh, dropped the damn roach. Hold on, guys. Alright, so I got it back. Let's see what happens. Oops. It got loose again, and now it's in the Carabina's web tunnel there. So let's see what happens. We'll watch for a minute or two. And of course the roach stops moving now. Just a heads up, this is going to be 2 parts because it's going to get a bit long. And I've got 3 more tarantulas left to show. So this will be the end of part 1. Be looking for part 2 coming right after this. You can barely see it through that webbing, but you can see that beautiful blue, that teal blue that they are as slings. That's the one thing I love about this species is they're beautiful as slings, but then they're different beautiful as adults. It's a lot like GBBs. The change that they go through from a sling to an adult is just dramatic and awesome, but at the same time they're beautiful at both stages. You know, some slings are pretty plain and then they get to adult stages and they're beautiful. But these guys and GBBs are beautiful throughout their life. So that's why I finally decided I had to have one. I'm hoping that this one's going to go for that food here pretty quick. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be doing a cigar review tonight as well for those of you subscribers of mine who like cigars or cigar review videos. So I'll be looking for that. I'm starting to get bored sitting here watching this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready to end this part. And I'm hoping that the next 3 tarantulas that I feed, no you don't. No you don't. Will eat for us on camera. So if you enjoyed this video, then I'm glad you did, because it wasn't very exciting. So give me a thumbs up and a comment, all that other jazz. I'll finish off the rest of my closing lines on the second part. So that has been the end of part 1 as the damn roach falls down onto the substrate. I hope you enjoyed it. Be looking for part 2 coming up later.